Absolutely. So, while we've got a second in between games here, a chance for us to sell out for our good hosts here at HeroesHype. If you guys really enjoy the content that they produce here in the community, all the events they put on at LAN events like BlizzCon, like the Western Clash when they're there, make sure you guys sign up for their Patreon at patreon.com/HeroesHype. Get cool rewards. The higher tiers you go up, like getting involved in the content itself. Access to exclusive content shoots, shout outs on their podcasts, their streams, and other such things as well. If you don't have the money to do so, make sure you follow the channel here, get notifications when we go live, as well as follow them on all their social media channels that you can find right here below the channel.
Yeah, I really appreciate the send out. HeroesHype is a pretty awesome organization. Glad that I work with them. We do the podcast on Wednesday nights. For those of you that don't catch EU or don't necessarily watch all the games, it's a good way to recap, find out who took the week, what teams are doing well, and what the predictions are for the overall tournament, as well as meeting some of the players. We usually bring on a guest that played in the current week. Last week we had Winterheart, and the week before we had. Man, I should know this, and I'm just blanking on it right now. But we have some cool players that come on, and it's really cool. So, but congrats once again to Firm Handshake on Game 1. We're getting Game 2 set up. It looks like nope, don't have the game pick yet. They're probably still deciding that right now. Thank you, mods, for being on it. And Inanimate, how was your day today?
Work was nuts. We'll leave it at that.
Do you work in a peanut factory?
Ha! Got him. Yeah, no. It was just one of those days where I would finish working on something and 3 more things would be on my desk by the time I got back to it. Long story short, I wasn't at my desk very much today.
I know that feel. So we are playing on the reworked Raynor and Azmodan patch. For those of you that don't know that, Azmodan is actually a pick we may see come out of FemmeFerocity. They have played it in their previous series. So looking forward to that. It's a little bit of a new stacking mechanic. He's able to stack off heroes and minions from the start, and his level 1 talent reflects how he improves even further upon that. So good pick to look out for. Who's your favorite hero of the series?
Are we talking about day 1 and day 2?
Yeah, day 1 and day 2.
Day 1 and day 2, I have to say that the resurgence of Stitches is probably my favorite part, because Huff Money for Necrodancers on that Stitches throughout the course of yesterday was probably some of the best mechanical Stitches play I've seen in a very long time. That being said, a honorable mention goes to Deckard Cain in the level 20 specifically, with the bottomless flask, because the amount of saves that thing does is fantastic.
Yeah, and actually looking at our mods, looks like FemmeFerocity is going to take first pick. FH is picking Dragon Shire, so it's going to be our first Dragon Shire of both days on this stream. Really looking forward to it. Finally, something other than Infernal Shrines. How do you feel about the map?
I'll be honest, Dragon Shire bugs me on a personal level, because every single time I play it in Quick Match, I'm with players that have a really tight tunnel vision on what they want to do. And it bothers me, because I know the map is much more than just run it down mid. But it's always fun to watch as a spectator, because you get to see the ability of players to really understand the pathing that you have to go through to make these rotations both safely and unsafely, and where you're trying to look for people to catch them in rotation and really swing the fight on one of those 2 control points in your favor.
Yeah. Getting the draft set up. Mods are doing work in the background for us. Looks like we just about got everybody in, waiting for one more person, and then moving some people around. Talk a little bit about the teams. I'm not the most familiar with Firm Handshake players. I do know that Vader and Pirate Rum and Grizz have been around for quite a long time. Not familiar. Why am I on their team? Not not familiar with all the players, but on the side of FemmeFerocity, we have some bigger names. We have Steph, formerly known as Oddish, the captain, leading their organization, FemmeFerocity, trying to broadcast the excuse me if I'm wrong about this, I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce the word. It's either femme or femi, or the female presence in the scene. Congratulations to them, making it top 3. That's a really big deal. But not to focus on the fact that there are girls playing on the team. They are just excellent players to begin with. Steph is actually one of my top 2 Sonya or Chromie players, easily in the division. I don't think we'll see her on Sonya just yet, because I don't think she's been playing much of the off lane, but a definite possibility to catch her on the Chromie.
Yeah, I think the one thing that I'd like to see out of FemmeFerocity with this draft in particular is not trying to play into that blow-up comp as heavily as they did last game, because if you're going to go that path, you really need to have a front line that's designed to peel effectively. And a solo Diablo, especially with the build that Tanita went into, with the not taking the shadow charge resets on 16 with the overpower, it just feels like it puts you in such a tough spot. Like, yes, you're tanky, yes, you get a lot of resilience with the flame stomps and the resets, but you just don't have the ability to do what the rest of your team is needing you to do, which is peel and engage for that composition to really shine.
I don't think we've seen Ariel picked one game this entire week on any of our games. She has pretty much been permabanned here.
Yep. Yeah, it's almost like she doesn't exist in the game files except to be banned.
Wow, I actually get to see an Abathur ban. First time we're seeing this, but I do understand the ban. Abathur's control on this map that's very rotation heavy, with the mines interrupting rotations, and the power that can be a Zeratul with an Abathur hat comes to mind. But we are going to see Dahaka pick, which makes a lot of sense because Abathur actually can kind of solo against a Dahaka.
It's a good ban and a good pick as well. Dahaka with the global presence, a lot of bushes around every objective on this map, so a really strong off lane pickup on the side of FemmeFerocity early on. No surprise out of Firm Handshake. It's Blaze and it's Deckard Cain yet again.
Yeah, and just Deckard 100% of the way. The Grizz on that Deckard has been an absolute monster. Following up with his combos has been absolutely on point. Consistently hitting those 2 and 3 man scrolls, which, with how slow that animation is, it's actually very impressive. But we do see an Alex on the other side for the side of Fem.
Alex Strauza having been banned out in the last game by Firm Handshake, they didn't really want to play against the percentage-based healing that she provides. Not a big surprise as well to see her picked up on the side of FemmeFerocity. Does have a very good synergy with the Heroes of Diablo and Dahaka. On top of that, just very good ability to burst heal through a lot of the damage that we were seeing coming out on the side of Firm Handshake. Not to mention the Dragon Queen trait. Powerful, objective controlling type of hero that is really strong in the current meta.
And we are going to see the Johanna ban. It looks like kind of focusing down what tanks they want the side of Firm Handshake to take. But with the Johanna ban, last game they banned Muradin, so now Muradin is available. Do we see them pick it up? I really like the Stormbolt combo, and we saw Lex Luthor on, I believe it was Tomb of the Spider Queen, consistently hitting those hammers. And actually there he is, and the Jaina. This is actually the 1-2-3 we saw, I believe, in both games against the Necrodancers.
Yep, Deckard, Muradin, Jaina, and that was only because Blaze was banned. Now Blaze isn't banned, so now they've got Blaze, Deckard, Muradin, and Jaina, and I'm actually a little bit scared because we saw what 3 of those 4 can do, and with what we saw in the last game with Blaze, with Vader on the Blaze, I'm a little scared here. I'm interested to see what the DPS picks are going to be. It's Jim Raynor and Kael'thas coming out again on the side of FemmeFerocity, so we'll see if the Raynor Pepper is enough to really carry the day here. I like the front line a little bit better with the Dahaka and Diablo, but I'm still personally just a little bit concerned with their ability to truly isolate a hero and try and look for a kill.
None shall
And
flee my grasp.
Maiev again, I'm a little scared.
If you take away the Blaze and add a Leoric, this is game 2 of Necrodancers versus Firm Handshake. And we've already seen how well Jinx can play that Maiev. Constantly going in, getting those Umbral binds, and now he's dealing with a triple backline. If at any point we see a Ring of Frost with a Cage of the Wardens, it's just gonna blow them up. It's boom, baby. It's like, I don't even know how to explain how much damage is gonna come out of that.
Well, I mean, okay. I think Ring of Frost is probably a little bit win more. I think Water Elemental is just generally a better talent overall for a protracted team fight, which is generally what you'll see more often than not. That being said, I would like to see that kind of, giant arena blow up fight, because those are always really fun to try and cast.
Yeah, and we already know that Firm Handshake loves to fight. But we're in game 1. It's game 2, Dragon Shire, Firm Handshake versus FemmeFerocity. On the blue side, we do have Firm Handshake. It's Vader on Blaze, Grizz on Deckard, Pirate Rum on Jaina, Jinx on the Maiev, and Lex Luthor playing that Murden.
And on the right side, in the red, it is FemmeFerocity down a game in this best of 3. Steph playing Raynor, Paradexis on Dahaka, Malrius again on Kael'thas, Danita Keel once more playing Diablo, and Lake Fu on Alex Strasza.
I really like the way how you pronounce the Diablo player's name. Tanita Keel, is that am I pronouncing that right?
That's the closest I can get to it, just sight reading it.
You do it so much better than I do. You have such confidence in your voice.
It does help. I've cast him once in Open Division before. I just don't remember exactly what.
We are seeing the flame strike coming out. Kael'thas actually getting rooted. 4-man Umbral Bind. 3-man Steph actually now in there, falling awfully low. The Adrenaline Rush is going to fall down. That's a 2-for-0 to start the game. Firm Handshake has a strong grip of things once again.
That is a little bit of an early game oof if you're on the side of FemmeFerocity here, as losing 2 players in the early game center skirmish at mid, that just feels so bad. Mallory has had a chance to get out there, but by the time he finally got away from Maiev, the Umbral Bind was just there, able to pull him right back in on that fight, and that just feels bad on so many levels.
And I absolutely love how they switched 3 people onto this camp to burn it down ASAP. This gives them that opportunity to go and pressure the enemy siege if they wanted to, or clear this wave out and maybe take the bottom camp early. Either way, they're not missing any soak. Blaze easily out pushing the Dahaka so he can soak both lanes. We are going to go ahead and just see the camp traded out. The experience, though, in favor of the side of Firm Handshake. Almost going to get those scores and maybe start to fight.
Yeah, right now, just seeing actually the members of Firm Handshake going straight to the Bruiser camp as well. They're perfectly content to give up the control of the 2 shrines for the moment. They're just putting both their members in mid, trying to dissuade FemmeFerocity from trying to come in and capture this Dragon Knight early. I like the shot calling on the side of Firm Handshake here, getting the map presence first before really coming in and looking to take a fight somewhere. As you see Blaze and Murden now in the top lane, pressing Paradexis on the Dahaka.
Yeah, but we do see FemmeFerocity striking back, taking that bottom camp. They're actually starting to take a ton of damage from these siege minis. Jaina not quite down here. The double Umbral Bind actually doing a ton of damage, though. Maiev, though, gonna fall awfully low, gonna fall. The Sunlock of Kael'thas and Diablo locking down, and then the Dragon for extra measure. Kane throwing up the skull, trying to get some more damage onto this camp. That spell armor is so important against the Jaina for the counter push. Raynor actually not afraid of anything, just stepping forward. Lex Luthor taking a ton of damage. Steph at full HP despite being jumped on by the murder. Pirate Rum unfortunately running out of mana.
Yeah, that's the strength of the Alex Strasza healer, being able to get the burst heals out of those. Tanique, you're really low, you're going to get pulled right back in by the tether, and the finishing blow coming out from the fort, as Diablo, the Lord of Terror, will have to wait about 15 seconds to play again. That's a big pick trying to defend that bottom fort for Firm Handshake. It looked like FemmeFerocity was getting a little bit of the better of them down there.
Yeah, but on the flip side, Blaze did manage to take that entire top wall, and the Fountain going to give him a little bit of advantage in the top lane. Vader, though, actually getting a little bit cut out, trying to stay on this point, trying to let them cap. Stun coming out, interrupting the Maya. Blaze will fall here, not be able to stay long enough, and they're going to lose one and not be able to cap the Dragon Eye.
Yeah, it's an important rotation in Paradoxus and Steph both getting on top of the Blaze, bullying him out of that top shrine, actually getting the kill as well, and keeping them right on pace to hit level 7. They're actually hitting it ahead just barely of Firm Handshake here at the 4-minute mark. 3 kills to 2, all the structures up for the most part, although there's more damage on the bottom fort than there is on the top fort on the opposite sides of either end of the map here. You see the 4-player rotation coming down here from FemmeFerocity, looking to take control of the bottom shrine.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, we're not going to see the Emerald this game out of Deckard Cain. We have seen it be very effective against the Abundance to mitigate that very shown healing from the Alexstrasza. Lex Luthor trying to do what he can to get in here. Unfortunately, the Diablo's very tanky, especially with that fast Feast on Fear to avoid. Pyro Realm, though, getting caught out. The overpower with the Shadow Charge is there. The Flame Strike coming out. Steph, though, taking a ton of damage. Here is the Maya coming in with the 4-man Emerald Blade. Emerald Bind. Double root coming out. Phantom Knives. Not a fan of the ferocity. Gonna get the double kill, 2 for 1. Looking at Malrius, not gonna be able to follow up, though.
Yeah, Jinx, with the ability to come in and flank the way that he has been on that Maiev, has been really, really stellar through this game, is especially at this point, and also last game as well, as we see Jinx doing an encore performance on the last Warden. The Fan of Knives damage output is so strong, especially with the players of FemmeFerocity so clustered up after the crowd control effects of Grizz on the Deckard Cain coming in. It's just so difficult to deal with on the side of FemmeFerocity right now.
Yeah, and the Maiev actually at 6 stacks of Bonds of Justice. We actually didn't see her stack it last game. The Abundance coming out, though, going to do a ton of healing on the Steph. Topping her off. Unfortunately, the other body coming out. The second Abundance with the Dragon coming out. Jaina getting dragged by the Dahaka. They're going to go ahead and back off. Lex Luthor falling off towards the middle. They are able to pick up that 1 kill. Steph took so much damage, but the double Abundance healing from the Alexstrasza doing so much work. And I talked about it already. The Emerald would have been so key here to nerfing that damage output, or that healing output.
Yeah, the healing output for sure, but I like the Kanai's Q as well on 7, though. That extra slow really helping seal players in with the, you know, with the chill effects of Jaina, that they're able to get that extended blow up over a course of time, over the course of time in these team fights. Level 10's online for both sides. Stay a while and listen. Bunker drop. Ring of Frost, Warden's Cage, and Avatar. So the all-in big-time arena fight composition for Firm Handshake. But on the other side, Hyperion Isolation, Phoenix, Lightning Breath, and Lifefinder all coming out on the side of FemmeFerocity.
Yeah, and we saw how effective Lifefinder is in a lot of these fights, especially with a Diablo-type hero when he has so much raw HP. Percentage healing is the best type of healing for him. And Lifebinder actually bringing him to full if Alexstrasza is at full HP still. So it's going to be very crucial for them to get on this. The Maiev, though, making the manage to pull on Steph. Not going to be able to follow up, though. The Lightning Breath coming out. Lex Luthor is actually falling very low. Kel'Thas trying to find the follow-up. Not quite there. Hyperion coming out. This fort will fall down. The Yamato Cannon doing a ton of damage to that building. That will be the first. Sorry, no, actually, the second fort of the game. Firm Handshake saying, "Nah, we got the first one."
That comes down to the macro pickup of that Bruiser Camp for the second time this game on the side of Firm Handshake. They got it at early on in that sequence of rotation, so that extra push on the side of Firm Handshake with Vader in that top lane on the Blaze, able to get through that fort just a little bit quicker than the 4-player push at the bottom from FemmeFerocity.
Yeah, and we do actually see all ultimates available except for Hyperion. Lightning Breath is going to be up pretty shortly. Lifefinder actually has a very low cooldown. Blizzard will probably be looking into that with how strong they recently made it. but we haven't quite seen that Ring of Frost Warden's Cage just yet. That fight went a little quickly and they didn't get a chance to drop the hitting. It looks like Diablo is gonna get Umbral Bind last second, knocking in charge. The stale on listen though, not enough to keep him here. He is still gonna be able to walk away. Quarter of HP, taps once. Lex Luthor, almost getting sniffed out by the Myritus. They are actually gonna jump. Myritus, good stun onto the
wow.
Double blind, the Warden's Cage, the Ring of Frost, there it is! Kaboom, laddie! Everyone falls down. It's a 2 for none. Firm Handshake taking the fight.
I want to point out Jinx on this one. Jinx actually got grabbed by Tanitakil, but had the Spirit of Vengeance already out, heading towards that siege camp. The second the stun came off, hit the teleport, came in with the Umbral Bind and the Warden's Cage, and set that team fight into, well, we'll call it 10,000 years of isolation.
That's an excellent name. We do see the XP still pretty even though. Only about a half level advantage for the side of Firm Handshake. 8-4 on kills. A lot closer at this time of the game than last game. Murden just stepping forward, trying to put a little pressure on them on the siege camp, but just gonna go ahead and back away. Diablo just sitting there, actually at 0 souls. A little surprised to see him willing to step up that far. The combo is gonna come out. There's the root. Lifebinder's coming out. The Umbral Bind catching Nari. Lifebinder though, plenty of the full. Jinx though, gonna have to step away, taking a ton of damage. Lex Luthor though, getting caught out by the grab. Bunker coming out, blocking the Dahaka. Hyperion though, chasing down the side of Firm Handshake. They're gonna have to step away for just a moment. Lex Luthor though, his trait healing him up to 40% HP. Great team fight from the side of FemmeFerocity.
He did a really good job pushing away the engage on the side of Firm Handshake, but not to be outdone. They come back in. Lakefu and Mallory is getting caught by a snapback rotation on the side of Firm Handshake. Tanitakil trying to get away from this. Paradexis throws herself right in on the Dahaka. Won't be enough to save her teammate. Now she'll have to try to get just over this wall as Firm Handshake, looking like they were in full retreat, right back in with the engage by Jinx and Grizz, as well as Pirate Rum with the Blizzard, and all of a sudden it's a 3-0, 11-4 on the kill side, and 16 right around the corner on the side of Firm Handshake.
Yeah, and we do see the Dahaka burrowing last second to avoid getting picked. Not able to stall the Dragon Knight any longer for his team to get back up. This is the first Dragon Knight of the game, 11 minutes in, level 16 around the corner. Steph actually gonna get stunned into the root. Not gonna be a much follow-up though, unfortunately. Alex Strauss there to top her back off. The Dragon Knight though, pushing the bottom lane, getting the wall uncontested. They're putting so much pressure in these lanes. Dahaka trying to get 16 for his team. Murden though, on the wraparounds, making sure the opposing team has to go the long way around in order to deal with this Dragon Knight. But Hellkill has nowhere to go. Gonna get slowed. The Lightfighter coming out. Look at that healing. Pops him off. Blaze not able to pour him off. The Bunker coming out. The Root staying in the bumper, popping in and out. The Diablo trying to body block him in. Gonna go ahead and walk away though. That's Fort falling down in the bottom lane. 18 seconds left on the Dragon Knight. And Raynor and Kel'Thas just gonna keep pestering it down.
And not a big surprise, they really only had enough time on the Dragon Knight, did Jinx, to go in, really get that fort. We have to do that big rotation from mid all the way down there, get through what was left of the wall onto the fort with a full defense available for FemmeFerocity, but really solid rotations by Firm Handshake in that last phase as they set up the Dragon Knight. Tanitakil going in to try and grab Vader. Look at the isolation. That's a tough target to grab when you're looking for that isolation. Jinx in 3-player, Umbral Bind into the stay wall with the Warden's Cage, Ring of Frost. Down goes Malorius, down goes Lakefu. It's 2-0 there. Vader's low, Tanitakil still trying to get out. Will go Lightning Breath looking for a kill, but there's the Ice Block into the follow-up. Will actually get Pirate Rum, but loses the Lord of Terror. And FemmeFerocity in full retreat now as Steph and Paradexis are trying to find a way out from the kill box that Firm Handshake firmly put up on that mid lane.
And look at this healing coming out of Steph's Q. Watch it top her up. Actually, the stun gonna follow up. There's the heal, quarter of her HP, just off Murden. Trying to be a little annoying, but is gonna stagger the death. That's 30 seconds without Raynor. Shrine's unfortunately not coming up just yet, but they are going to be able to take a bunch of the mercenaries and create a bunch of map pressure.
Especially after opening up the bottom lane with taking that forward. You see them go immediately to the hard camp at that bottom, sending 3 of their members there to get that one down before the respawn of Malrius and Lakeview on Kelthus and Alex Rosen respectively. Now they're going to go in for the invade on even talent tiers. Just enough disruption from Lex Luthor, just the threat of that positioning coming in, enough to scare them away and give up that camp. That's all 3 camps in the bottom lane given up by FemmeFerocity here to Firm Handshake. This should be a keep wall as the shrines come online.
Yeah, siege camp, double siege camp with the hard camp. They are going to look to take as many buildings as they possibly can. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Hyperion come out and try and limit the amount of damage. Jinx, though, actually taking a ton of damage here. Falling about half HP, though. Grizz with those healing potions to get that work. Lex Luthor going in.
Great exit.
Scroll coming out. The Warden's Cage coming out. The knockbacks going out. Here comes the Ring of Frost. Gonna hit 3 targets. Drainer just gets exploded and falls down. Pterodactyl's on the back line. Lightning Breath coming out. There's the bunker, and we talked about this a little bit before. So much protection for the team, but they are low health bars from each step away.
Pterodactyl was looking in the bushes for a flank for so long into the backline, finally got in, landed the isolation on Jinx, but it was too little too late. Stay a while and listen, Ring of Frost coming in with just enough time for both of those skills to resolve and trigger the cascading failure of Raynor's life bar on that one. The Bruiser can't pick up though by FemmeFerocity. It's going to do work here. It's going to force Vader to come back, try and clear this off before too much damage comes in to that keep wall, and it'll let FemmeFerocity get the rotation set up, try and find an interrupt here on the rotation of Firm Handshake.
Yeah, and Lex Luthor just eyeing out everyone. Actually going to use the Dwarf Toss into the zone. Only Diablo, though, going to come up here and contest him. No backup for him, but it is a Diablo at 100 souls, so he is a scary tank right now. There's the Dwarf Toss with that bonus range, actually doing a ton of work to get him out of that fight. Kane sitting mid, ready to cap. Steph, though, catching it out. Jaina actually falling very close to Steph. The Ring of Frost is going to miss. The blink comes out for Jaina. The Ice Block, Steph has her. So this is going to be a Jaina falling down. That's a 1 for none. The Electrocutor in the background doing damage to the Kel'Thas. Pressure just swung back into FemmeFerocity's favor.
That's a huge pick as Pirate Rum actually face checks the bush there with Steph waiting right on top of it. But Malrius in trouble. Lex Luthor going in really hard with the Stormbolt. The amount of damage coming out. Malrius will get caught and can't stay alive as the Scroll of Identify does the final blow. And that's a big counter pick back the other way on the side of Firm Handshake. Steph getting blasted down there by the bunker. Maev getting the final shot as they tried to get that counterplay up with the first pick, and all of a sudden Firm Handshake sniffs it right back out, and they get a 2 for 1.
Yeah, excellent play by Lex Luthor, utilizing that rewind damage with the stacks from level 1. 37 stacks on Perfect Storm. That does so much bonus damage. Good on him to help get that kill. The follow-up, though, onto the Raynor was absolutely perfect. And I keep talking about it. Bunker is so good against the Raynor. And then the oil drop with the 20 talent and the armor duration increased. That's going to be an absolutely playmaking talent. Level 20, 17-minute Dragon, though. The bottom lane has no wall protecting the keep. Everyone is alive. Raynor's about to spawn in 4 seconds, but 40 seconds still left on Hyperion. Meanwhile, Warden's Cage and the Ring of Frost are still available.
So is Bunker, so is Avatar. The only one that's offline is Stay a While and Listen, but that'll be up before the engage really hits here as Phoenix coming down, trying to dissuade the damage, but the positioning of Lex Luthor on the Dragon Knight right now, taking very little damage. Jinx actually getting grabbed in by Tinity Heal in the backline. Will get rooted. Vader looking in with the jet propulsion, trying to do a little bit of disruption there. All 5 members of FemmeFerocity fighting behind the Dragon Knight here, and this is the type of play I like to see. But Steph is in super deep on Raynor. Will trade out with Maev as well, but that's a 1 for 1 on, and with the composition of FemmeFerocity right now, losing one of your main damage dealers there is bad. Losing your off-take might be worse as Paradexis goes down, and Lex has the core down to 33, 30%, 2, and this should be GG's in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, and GG, firm handshake, 2-0ing FemmeFerocity. The second game being considerably closer than the first game, 21-20. They managed to get their 20 talents before the end push. Unfortunately, that Dragonite coming out at 17 minutes, it has so much power, and Lex Luthor actually ignoring the fight entirely, just going for core, getting it down to 30% before the Dragon expires. GG's taking that 2-0. Congratulations, third place. Their first time in the top 4, taking the third place, getting that 75 points. FemmeFerocity walking away with 60. Still something to be proud about. You made it to the top 4. This is Cup 5. The teams have been together for a while now. You're showing a ton of improvement. You just got to keep it up. There's 2 more weeks left. Yes, we're coming into a break, but this is where you need to hit the ground running. This is the final stretch. You need to be sprinting.
Every cup, every point matters at this point, especially if your goal is the playoffs and ultimately the Crucible. So making top 4 is definitely an achievement, definitely something to build off of for future Open Division cups. And I would love to see FemmeFerocity back in future cups. But couple little bits of housekeeping to catch up to, again, as we've been so very kindly hosted here by HeroesHype on this channel to do the HGC Open Division for North America. Make sure you guys, if you love what they do, support them through their Patreon at patreon.com/HeroesHype, as well as subscribe to the channel, get the emotes, all of the money going back in to the HeroesHype community for all the events, all the content that they produce for the Heroes of the Storm community. If you can't really find the $5 or whatever you need to pledge per month to help them out with that, just make sure you follow them on their social media and the channel as well, because every little bit counts.
Yeah, and we appreciate the support over here at HeroesHype. Want to follow that up. We also have the Twitter. Follow us at HeroesHype. The Twitch channel you're actually viewing right now, don't forget to like and subscribe. Every view counts. We're a grassroots organization helping to grow the amateur scene division. We focus so much on all of the non-professional players and the professional players. We try our hardest to put every single person in the spotlight when we can. Check out the HeroesHype Live podcast, where we actually bring one of the players on to do an interview and talk a little bit about the games. And that being said, there are still games going on the main channel. So after we take you out of here, do check that out. We will be hosting them shortly. InanimateJ, what are your shout outs for the night? Tell us who you are. Where can people find you?
Well, shout out to my wife. I forgot that yesterday was her birthday, and I'd spent the entirety of it casting Heroes of the Storm here on the HeroesHype channel. So major shout out to my wife for putting up with me doing this hobby for as long as I have. And a shout out, as always, to Twitch chat for always coming out and putting us through the ringer. I've been seeing the comments scrolling by on my other monitor. Don't worry, I haven't been ignoring you guys. It's just it's a talent to go through and pointedly ignore Twitch chat through all that we do. But as always, a big shout out to HeroesHype for bringing me and everybody they bring in for the Open Division casting. It's a lot of fun to be able to get involved with the competitive scene in a game that I have a really deep appreciation for in what it does in the genre that it sits in.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming out. Appreciate you being my co-caster tonight. It's been fun. It's my first time casting with you. I love the sound of your voice. It's so rhythmic and melodic. I love hearing it. I do want to give a shout out. My girlfriend that's in the other room. She's always my first shout out of the night. Love her to death. We've been together for a few years. Just bought a house together, so it's for real, guys. Anyway, shout out to Argy for picking me this week. I know he has a lot of better options like Recurring Fear or Bahamut or Haloran or Haas or Bahamut or Cat Peach. I think I said Bahamut twice, but he deserves it.
He is really fun to work with.
Can't forget about him. Our mod team tonight doing the Lord's work, keeping us straight, helping us get our mics and our cameras set. Still working on my lighting, unfortunately. Vi did an excellent job keeping it green as much as he could. Really good games though, guys. Once again, check out the Blizz Heroes channel. They're going live in just a minute, so we're gonna go ahead and send it over. Everybody, have a good night.